You think that your appearance is this permanent thing. It's just this static form. But really, it's more like a live biofeedback system that changes based on the input it's given. And what is the input? Your thoughts about the way you look, your feelings, your perception of yourself, even the environment and the people and places you surround yourself with. Now, of course, we're all starting from different baselines. We all have our baseline characters, but then we can influence them. For example, go and be in like a toxic relationship for a year and come out and see how you look. Or spend a year taking immense care of yourself and feeding yourself with positivity and only doing things that bring you joy. See how you look after that. I'm not necessarily saying that it's always that easy to do in reality, because we have our egos, we have the things that other people tell us, we have the environment and the social conditioning that is constantly fed to us, which is telling us that we're not good enough. So everything you do has to basically transcend that and be stronger than it. If you can be stronger than your thoughts, your emotions, and if you can ignore all of the things that tell you that you're not good enough or you don't look good enough, then your appearance will start to thrive. And I'm talking about general changes as well as specific ones. In my experience, usually the specific changes we want are based on our idea of our perfect form. And that idea doesn't come from nowhere. That is our higher self basically showing us, hey, look, this is what you can become. This is who you already are. You just have to let it reveal itself. So I want you to start thinking about your appearance as this fluid, morphing thing that you do have influence over. You don't influence it by force, by constant monitoring, by constant checking. You influence it by allowing yourself to feel safe and peaceful first and foremost, and then creating the environment, creating a life for yourself that is going to be able to support yourself in becoming that version of you that you want, looking the way that you want. If your body is constantly using energy on like nonsense and obsessing and just desperation and constantly ruminating in your brain, how am I going to change this? How am I going to do this? That is where you're putting your energy. That is basically where you're voting for your life. If you want something different, you have to take back your energy from that and put it towards knowing that you already look good enough, knowing that you already have the changes that you seek. What would your life look like if you based it around beauty rather than a lack of beauty? I am an empath and a highly sensitive person. And I've noticed that for people like me, we tend to take on other people's stuff and kind of hold it in ourselves, hold it in our bodies. And over time, that does affect the way that we look. It can reduce your glow. It can harden your features. Imagine if you're constantly in an environment where you don't feel safe around someone. Even the muscles on your face are gonna start bracing. They're gonna be bracing for impact. Everything is basically just like a spiral. And the question is, do you want to go down the downward spiral or do you want to go up the upward spiral? So start observing your body not as this thing or object that needs to be fixed, and not as this thing that you're fighting against, but rather a reflection of your inner state of alignment. And I think that is the healthiest way to look at this, because if we start obsessing over specific features too much, if we start comparing ourselves or our journeys to other people's, if we start obsessively going on these looks maxing communities, this stuff is going to really affect your mind and put you out of a state of alignment. The looks maxing community was based on people that are kind of fighting back against the people that are like, looks aren't important, they don't matter, but then at the same time treating them like they do matter. The looks maxing community is on the other extreme. They're saying that looks is everything. Now, obviously that's not true, and that's just a very toxic and unhappy way to live your life. So what I'm trying to do here on this channel is bring you to kind of more of a balanced approach, because yeah, looks matter and we want to look better, and you can look better and you can have the appearance that you want, but you don't have to do it through these unhealthy means. It can actually be a very beautiful journey of coming home to yourself. And that's exactly what I want to help you do. It feels good, it feels good to look good. And even in your body, like when your face, for example, structure starts improving, your posture naturally starts improving. When your posture improves, the energy that goes from source to the earth which is your chakras system, that gets stronger. You feel more connected, you feel more at ease, everything becomes effortless. You don't have to go through this really hardcore journey and take like 5 different pills every day. You don't need to do that. You can do it this way. You can do it the chill way, the effortless way. And I want to help you do that. So if you want me to help you achieve your most beautiful form, I have options for working with me one-to-one, either on a voice call or WhatsApp coaching. I can literally hold your hand through every step of the journey, so you don't have to do it alone. Okay, if you have any other questions, please let me know, and thank you for watching my video. Bye.